Evening, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Comic Crack. It's 10 to 10, a little bit. I don't know. Is this early? Is this late? I don't even know. Does anybody even watch these anymore? I don't even know. I somehow continue to do this over and over again. Invade your personal space. For a Sunday, Rasa and I had a chat this afternoon. I think the first 50 minutes or so, 45 minutes, she was solo. She was on her own, and eventually made it in to talk to her. And that was over on her channel. So I'd encourage you to go and have a listen to that if you want to hear us blab on as I get myself situated here. Not a ton of books to talk about this week, but the reading that I did was great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Reading that I did was great. So we'll talk about those in the link, in the description, rather. There's a link to Reptile House. We're going to be talking about some Reptile House books here as well. We might end on those ones tonight. What else do I have for you? I was playing with some, I don't know, for those of you who might have seen stuff on Instagram, I was playing with this projection mapping. Seems to be a thing these days. So we've got this little projector a friend of mine gifted us for Christmas 2 years ago, I think, that we can use outside. We had, for one of my daughter's birthday parties, we had a projector and we projected it on the side of our garage. We've got this little patio that we made during COVID. It was our COVID project. And it was a really great time. So he bought us one. So I was playing with it. It's not the highest quality projector. It doesn't have it's not the brightest. It's not the most high definition. In the video mapping software, you can do, it's called Mad Mapper. And there's a free version where you can sample it. It's super fun. I can see why people enjoy it. And especially now that I've got a fair bit of material that I've either filmed. The outro is something that I created. The intro stuff is something I used Cathodimer with or to create, and a bunch of kind of things that I have now. So it was a blast to kind of layer those, and it's mind-boggling. I think in the video mapping I was doing, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 separate images that you can basically plot out a wall, and you can mask some areas. So I was kind of blasting it towards our kitchen from the dining room, so I could mask out the door so no light shines through there. Even putting strips along the perimeter of the doorway, like just super fun. I could see myself really getting into that, but so far the programs that I've found are pretty damn expensive. If you want to get like the great version that's not watermarked with Mad Mapper. I think it was like $800 or something like that. So way out of my price range for considering that it would just be a toy that I would play with every once in a while. But super fun. What else was I going to say? I got from Fantagraphics. There's an Asian grocery store in town called Lucky's. One of my favorite places to shop. Every year they do a calendar, a gigantic calendar, different either photographs or art on it and stuff. One of the first years that I ever got one, every single month had a picture of different produce that they sell in there, like exotic fruit and things like that, which was one of the best calendars for sure. We missed out this year. They go pretty fast. We missed out. You kind of get one free when you go and purchase, when you buy some groceries from there. So we missed out. Luckily for me, I had ordered the Jim Woodring 2026 calendar, so now that's up in the kitchen. Not quite the same, because like I said, this calendar we get is usually gigantic. The Jim Woodring one, though, is beautiful. A lot of really great art. Every single day of the month, there's someone's birthday, like someone's, and it's writers, artists, filmmakers, etc. It runs the gamut. So that's kind of fun to look at. I don't know if it's necessarily influences of Woodring himself. I don't know how deep it goes into that. And then there's an extra month in there that is, can't remember the name of his world right now. I'm drawing a blank on it, but it's a month and it has all of his characters' birthdays. throughout that entire month. So really, really sweet looking calendar there. That's one that I'll keep afterwards. Let's just kind of jump into what I've been reading. So let's start off with a couple of easy ones. Let's start here. So this is the Balboa Theater, a collection of posters from Mr. Vacuum Decay himself. Why am I just completely brain farting on everything right now? Jumpin' G's. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's a collection of art. I'm sure the name is going to come to me, or somebody's going to say it in the chat here. Do I have the comments open? Yes, I do. So I picked up 2 copies of this. I'm starting to go through the drawers and boxes that surround me in here, and I'm starting to put together some sale bins. I was talking to 420, came and joined us in the chat for part of our conversation this afternoon. And him and I have been talking about potentially sharing a table at some point. I want to make sure that I have quite a bit of stuff to sell, though, before I commit to doing one of the mini conventions in town. So far, I've got 2 magazine boxes filled with magazines and comics, and I still have quite a bit to go through in the collection. I need to downsize. I need to clear some space in these drawers. I've recently been rebagging and boarding all of my underground comics because they are all in different size bags, and it's just a pain in the ass to kind of sort in there, aesthetically, but also in reality. So I'm pulling out some of the doubles that I have. If there's books that I have like 3 printings of, I'm selling the latest printing and keeping the really, really early printings. So I'm well on my way to having I'd love to have 3 or 4 magazine boxes filled with stuff to sell before I kind of get into doing anything in person at a mini convention. The more I think about it, though, the more excited I am about it. I haven't done a convention. I haven't sold at a convention for quite a while. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. A, to kind of make some space. B, to make a couple of bucks. And then C, to just kind of be in that. Thank you very much, Harry Nordlinger. Forgerelli, welcome. Forgerelli, it's been a while since I've seen you. Where is it? It's not in the room. Thank you so much for the stray bullets. I really appreciate that. It came a while ago. I hope you saw the video where I did first show it off, and thank you for it. But again, a huge, huge thanks. I'm very much looking forward to that. So yes, Harry Nordlinger. So I ended up, the point of that story was I like that I have some stuff that maybe you're not seeing at a convention regularly. So when I bought this, I bought 2 copies, one for me and one to, oh, you missed the video. Well, then let me publicly thank you now again. Thank you so much. It came it must have cost you at least $1 or $2 to ship that beast to me. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have not started reading it yet. Last week, I didn't do a live show last week because I didn't read anything at all that previous week. So I bought a couple of these, one for myself and one to kind of have in a bin. I want to try to, and I'm finding I'm starting to do that now too, when I go and look in like 50-cent and dollar bins. If there's duplicates of things that I already have, if I think they're unique or something a little more interesting, I'm buying them for the sole purpose of putting them back in my bin and selling them for the same price. Really, it's not about like trying to flip them or anything. Like if it's a 50-cent book, maybe I slap $1 on it kind of thing, but it's not about like trying to dig through these gems, in my opinion, and find stuff that I can make money off of, because I know that's just not really a thing, especially for a bunch of the things that I'm really into. But I really want to have just a unique set of books, a more curated kind of selection to sell, plus then throwing in a bunch of stuff that I know people are going to like. So a long story for one little book. check out Norlinger, check out Vacuum Decay, as I always say. TMNT Journeys, issue number 5, continues to be a joy. This one is beautiful. I think I sat and looked at the opening splash page, I don't know how many times and for how long, just in amazement at all of the tone work and the zipatones and the scraping away at parts and that water reflection. And one of the things that I loved is seeing kind of these patterns on here. Yes, down at the bottom here, these patterns here, and how much that little choice blows me away, because you can see that as being kind of like the reflection of light off of the water in kind of like a texture. It's an amazing page, and even just the water and the leg of the robot there and the arm, and just that recreating light bouncing off of that metal object there is impressive as all hell. So not much to say that I haven't said before about this story. We're really starting to kind of get into it now. The aliens have landed. They've talked to humans. Because the aliens have landed, the turtles are now in a spot where they're just walking around on the street, and nobody is kind of paying them any attention. They just assume that they're friends of the aliens. And halfway through the story, we cut to kind of 6 months later, where they're going to go and visit them. They're going to go and sit and have a meeting with them. They have they've put these symbols on their chests to help kind of identify each of the turtles, because they're not allowed to bring their weapons into this facility. And as they kind of go through the metal detector, April gets singled out, saying, "You have some concealed weapons, come with us." And that's kind of where this issue leaves off. Love this book. Can't wait for more. Really, really enjoyable stuff if you're not reading it. We're firing through this, so this might be a shorter one this week. Last year, at the beginning of the year, the first comics that I read that are in my book is the series Sanctuary. This year, we're starting strong again. I have all of part 3 of the Sanctuary series. I've read the first 4 issues. I'm just about to start issue number 5. And I freaking love this book every single time I read it. It's nice also taking that year break. This one was made all the better because they do a bang-up job of giving you a little, here's what we've been dealing with so far, here's the story. And then on the next page, they give you a great cast of characters. Just as a reminder, there is a lot of characters in this. There's a lot of kind of storylines going on in the same time. And it's just amazing. So we left off with one of our main duo, Hojo. There's Hojo and Asami. Hojo is in the Yakuza world, and Asami is in the political world. Hojo's been shot. Someone's tried to kill him. It's his name is Wong, and he's from he's a scheming Hong Kong Don who betrayed his allies and shot Hojo. So there he is there, and then that's Hojo there, and obviously here as well. So that's kind of where we left off, and I remember it being a pretty impactful scene. It's nice to kind of have that year to kind of sit and think about this off and on over the course of a year, and now it's one of those books where I just get right back into it, and I'm immediately sold. I'm immediately involved in the world. Something I was saying to Rasa is one of the things that I like about this book the most is the kind of the comic book world of politics. I think is fantastic, especially these days, considering all the fucking insanity that's going on all over the place. It's nice to kind of have, the comic book version of politics and how things should go. The basic premise of it is that these guys are looking to transform Japan, and they're also looking to bring kind of the political world and the Yakuza world together in some sort of fashion and be kind of leaders of this new era of Japan. So in this one, Hojo is in He's in a coma, not really sure if he's going to live or die at the beginning of this third book. And Asami is now making big moves politically, where he's going to try to get the public motivated into voting by doing some changes to their constitution. And some of that stuff I can absolutely relate to, especially after going through the election that we went through 2 years ago. I think some of that really resonates with me because that was one of our big things going into the election. We had 77% voter turnout for our IATSE election, and that's an unbelievable number in any sort of realm. And me and my wife especially, who became the treasurer, she's the treasurer, I'm the president. The two of us contacted 300-400 members. We put an event together to have people come and meet us. We had a little coalition that we put together. Our intention at that time was we wanted to basically kick everybody off the board, and we wanted to replace everybody off the board and do a fresh start. So some of the parallels within this book are actually kind of crazy because we were attempting to do something similar on a very, very small scale, where the characters in this book are trying to do it on a pretty enormous scale. And here's our kind of main bad guy politician. So where I've left off is there's been some shady business deals that he was involved in with land development, and money has gotten into his pocket. So that's kind of where we've left off in issue 4. And it's just so goddamn enjoyable. It's so well written. The art is incredible. There's issue 2, issue 3. The whole thing is fantastic. Sho Fumimura, and art by Ryoichi Ikegami. Translation by Matt Thorne from Viz Premiere Comics. So this is also a book that at the time, I think there was graphic novel versions of all of these volumes as well. I don't know how easy or hard it is to get a hold of. I know that I've had a hell of a time collecting like anything from part 3 on. It's been really difficult to find. Surprisingly, the first volume was probably the easiest to find the issues of, which was really shocking. Everything else has been incredibly difficult, which is why I've had to resort to filling in a lot of the gaps from Lone Star. And then there's issue 5 that I'm just about to read. So if you do stumble across this, honestly, it's well worth your time. If any of that sounded interesting, I'd say give it a shot. I love that series. I love it. What else? Yeah, this first volume has what? Yeah, the first volume, or this third volume rather, has 8 issues. And then I think I've got the first couple of issues of book 4. But honestly, I might let that sit, collect all the issues, and maybe this becomes a January, February thing where I start to read those at the beginning of the new year. That's that. This goes there. And last but not least, I got some books from Reptile House. So after Fantasy Club Books closed here in town, it was Austin from Fantasy Club Books that turned me on to this Nosebleed book. He said, because I looked at it and go, oh, Reptile House, it's good. And he saw me pick it up. He's like, do you know about that book? I'm like, I don't. He's like, you need to get it. It's really great. I have the second issue at home. I have an extra copy of it at home. I will bring it and I'll hold on to it for you. So then he was gone and I got really hooked on issues 1 and 2. So I wanted to order it directly from Reptile House, and I noticed I was behind on a couple of the Reptile House anthologies. When I put it in a cart and went to check out, I remember, I think this happened to me the last time I tried to order from them. They don't have an option for shipping to Canada. I assumed that with all the shit going on, and kind of, to be honest, what a pain in the ass it must be for Americans to ship stuff to Canada and vice versa. I just assumed they said, fuck it, we're not doing it anymore. So I emailed them to ask that, and I think it was Nick Bunch himself who I had been speaking to. They also did a risograph calendar for 2026. Josh Bayer is in it, Nick is in it, and a bunch of other artists. A lot of names I didn't recognize. And just asking him if I wanted to place this order, how much would it be for shipping? With the risograph calendar, it was just too expensive. So I said, can I just can you give me another quote with just these 3 books? And I didn't hear back from him. So I just assumed that he was like, fuck this guy. I don't want to deal with this back and forth of put this on, add this, take this away. So I left it because I don't want to bug the guy or nothing. And then these books showed up in the mail. And I was very, very surprised. I will be sending him some money. I will be settling up with this. This isn't going to be something that I'm going to that I'm going to neglect for sure. So it was incredibly nice of him to send this stuff to me. I love Reptile House. You know that it's something I've talked about many, many times. And I got to tell you, man, issue 3 of Nosebleed, it does not fucking disappoint. It's such a good goddamn book. I love the art in it. One of the things I love the most, first of all, the story is just top notch, but I'm so impressed, especially, I don't know if it's especially in this issue. I really noticed it in this issue. Each of the panels and the character movements on the page are so kind of, there's a lot going on every single page. You can feel the energy on the page, and you can feel kind of the movement, and kind of, especially when it gets a little more intense, that kind of frantic movement. So the basic premise is a couple of kids who are being bullied discover these little kind of seeds / pills. It gives them this power. They're, of course, because they're teenagers, they can't really control it. These powers are kind of developing. These pills become like a drug. They get addicted to them. They have to have them, and then this kind of power manifests itself, and it usually blows people apart, has them explode. One of our characters has discovered that he now can heal people, and it's a joy to read. I love the art. It is Derek Jones who writes and illustrates this book. And I mean, what else can I tell you about it? I can't say enough good things about it. It's really goddamn good. The books from Reptile House, I think this is a $10 American book. Yes, it's a bit pricey, but I think it's worth every single penny. I mean, look at the size of that sucker. I don't know. Is it 40 pages? I'm not really sure how long it is, but it's cover to cover. And it's a really engaging story. The writing is really, really good. And like I said, the kind of action and the movement and just the style is very, very impressive. So issue 3 of Nosebleed, I don't know how many issues this is going to be. I will be on board if there's only 4. I will be on board if there's 12. I will be on board if there's 20. I'll be following this thing as long as Derek decides to take it. Dan Elson, how you doing, bud? This is Nosebleed issue number 3. I've talked about the first 2 issues before. This is from Reptile House. So again, in the comments of, or in the description rather, of this video, there's a direct link to the Reptile House Comics website. So go and support them. It'll be a lot cheaper for you Yanks. Dan, do you have Daryl D's email? If you do, can you do like an email to the 3 of us, like all 3 of us in an email, so we can talk about, let's try to get the 3 of us together sooner than later, to do kind of a hangout, a chat, whatever, you know, offline video, live stream. I don't care what, but I think it would be great to kind of sit and the 3 of us hang out and chat. So if you have Daryl's email, send it out and let's start to get something together there. And then the other 2 books that I got were the Reptile House anthology. I'm sure this has made my list for best of the year a couple of times. It's really great. I would say that out of these 2 issues, this is issue 12, and this is the latest one from 2025, I think. Yeah, summer 2025. So issue number 13. Out of the 13 issues, I think this one was kind of maybe the weakest one, even though every single issue is really great, because they're just chock full of amazing artists. And the one thing that has always impressed me, and what I feel like, I don't know if I've said it before, this particular issue really had the energy of kind of an old underground comic. And I love the styles on display here. One of the things, and also I think that partially one of the things that reminds me of an underground is that in this issue specifically, there's a lot of short stories that there's not too much story involved, which isn't a bad thing. That's not a criticism. It's just about exploring art and having some pages under your belt, and I really appreciate that. But this is an anthology, again, that if you don't know it, do yourself a favor and pick up some Reptile House. I don't know how much is in print, so check on their website, but they have quite a cast of creators. And then this is, like I said, what did I say? Issue 13. So there's issue 13 there. And this was really great. I love Nick Bunch has the first story here, and it's called How to Quit Publishing by Nick Bunch. And it's basically him talking about how it's such a pain in the ass. You fucking artists never sending me your files on time and this, that, and the other thing. And you guys reading it, you suck. And just this kind of frustration put onto the page of, and then that's it. I quit. So at first I'm like, oh shit, is that it for Reptile House? Is that going to be it? And I don't think that's the case, because in the story, he tries to hang himself and it goes horribly wrong. And is basically, well, I guess I'll just go back to making some more comics. So I think it's just an expression of frustration. Tiaroxe, if I'm pronouncing that right, I apologize if I'm not. Back again, one of the standouts for sure for me from all of this Reptile House, doing an incredible, I mean, how do you even, it's beautiful art. Glass Chamber, is that what it was called? I have it as well. It was just a one shot and it was just her. Yeah, Glass Chamber. So that looks like, oh no, that looks like it's sold out, unfortunately. And now that I'm looking at the website, actually, you know what? Let's share a screen for a second here. How do I do that again? Let's share a screen and have a look together. So here you go, publications and contributors. Reptile House is a Philly-based underground comics small press. So here's the 2026 calendar, the Rizzo calendar. A book called Do Not Resuscitate. There's issue 13 of Reptile House. Again, this is just the world you're going to live in as far as price tags when you're getting into some of these kind of small publishers. I would say that for that money, though, they put together a fucking quality book. We're not talking like flimsy covers and cheap printing jobs. So Desert Rats, I think this is a Nick Bunch. I have not read Desert Rats. I think it's a Nick Bunch book. Yes, it is. Yeah. So it looks like there's been 3 issues of that. There's Nosebleed issue 3. All those are still in stock. There's Nosebleed 2. That's still in stock as well, too. Round World Thinking, Desert Rats issue number 1. And then Nosebleed 1, unfortunately, looks like it's sold out, but I would suggest checking Domino Books if you want. Cyanide Swamp is another great anthology. I've talked about this issue. The Cyanide Swamp made my best of list for last year. So then we start getting into sold out. I've got this Blank Frames as well. Yeah, Nicole Rodriguez, really great style. There you go. There's the Glass Chamber. More Reptile House anthologies. More Reptile House. I think the rest of it is, yeah, the rest of it is Reptile House. And then this, of course, Bloodhorn. So Nick Bunch. So this first appeared in the Reptile House anthology. Oh, it looks like that's sold out as well, too. And then he did a collected version of that story about like this metal band. Yeah, so there you go. So all of the Reptile House stuff is worth your... Oh, the books aren't showing. Can't see it. Crack logo only. Oh, share screen. Well, that's good work there. Let's see. How about that? Are you seeing that now? If I scroll, do you see a screen moving there? You just shared the crack green splotch screen. Hilarious. So as I was talking, I'm a talented YouTuber. Yeah, that's a thumbs up from Dan. So there you go. Well, I won't do the whole thing again, but just replay my conversation and have a look at all this stuff here. And obviously check it out yourself. So that's hilarious that I completely fucked that up. I'm new. Yeah, there you go. So Cyanide Swamp is what I was talking about. And these covers on Nosebleed 2 are just stellar. So I was saying Nosebleed #1 looks like it's sold out on their site. Go and check out Domino Books. I think he has some of that stuff in. Here's the issue of Cyanide Swamp that I've talked about in a video before. So anyway, that's that, my friends. I see it. Excellent. That's great. I'll figure out this YouTube thing one day. Just stick with me for another 10 years and I'll be a professional. I'll just show you a couple of more. I think that's Nicole Rodriguez there as well too, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of artists in this new one that I don't recognize. So that's always great. Yeah, bang up job as always. I'd also been thinking of, I saw that, I don't know if 420 is watching this. I did see your text, 420. I will respond to you after the live stream. I've been thinking about, oh, here we go. Look at this for Forgerelli with the info. Besides Domino, try Atomic Comics. Partners and Sons, good work. Yeah, good. And Copacetic Comics, 100%. And Domino is always a trove of odd, fresh goodness. They sure as hell are. And honestly, every time I see Domino, every once in a while, I'll just go and start scrolling through. And like I do on Lone Star, I'll fill a basket, see how much it's going to cost me, see how much the goddamn shipping is, and go, I just can't justify that. So because of those reasons happening more and more so now, and my recent experience with buying pipe tobacco in the States, I've been considering getting a P.O. box across the border. So about an hour and a half drive from me, you can cross the border into the United States. There's a postal service in a place called Pembina, North Dakota. And you can get a P.O. box there. All you have to do is send the information. I already sent them my information. So if there's something that comes with my name on it, they have a heads up that there might be something coming. There's a minimal charge. Now you gotta be, I haven't gotten it yet. And I don't know if I'm going to do it. And here's why. My worry is that because it's going to cut down the shipping a lot, and a place like Domino, sometimes they'll have sales where it's free shipping within the United States. So I feel like if I do that, that's a very, very slippery slope of all of a sudden I'm ordering this and then, I'll just order this. And why don't I get this? And then we're down into a fucking mountain of books that are waiting at a P.O. box. So I'm not there yet. It's something I've been thinking of for literally years. There's a number of guys locally here who have done that, but it's such it's such a scary kind of idea because I know myself. And I know that there's a lot of sites down in the States where it's dirt cheap to send within the United States. Or like I said, they offer free shipping, that it's a very, very slippery slope. And then it gets to the point of driving down there. The drive isn't the thing that concerns me too much. It's what are you going into the States for? Taking my family, getting our passports sorted out. I mean, my wife and mine are up to date and sorted, but my daughter, we'd have to get something for her. No offense. It's also crossing the border into the United States is not something I'm kind of excited about at the best of times. I would just say that now, especially, it's even a little more like, it's a little more, do I even want to come down? Yes, I could just have them. Yes, I'll do that, Gary. That's a great idea. I'll just order a bunch of stuff and send it to you. So it is a slippery slope, but I have been considering it. I think it would be good. And then it's how difficult or easy is it going to be to get back across the border? Am I then going to get dinged for buying a bunch of shit? Are they really going to care if it's me, my wife, and our daughter in a car? Or are they just going to wave us through? All of these things. So 420 had messaged me as well because I mentioned it this afternoon. And he said he'd be down for kind of splitting it. I think they charge you, what is it? I think it's $5 kind of handling fee per package, I think is what it turned out to be. So it's not a huge cost. From the little bit of reading that I was doing at their FAQ on their post at their post office box website, I think that there's also a bit of a limitation. You can't just build things up for 12 months and then come and pick it up at the end of the year. Like you have to kind of do a semi-regular. I think they had like a 3-month cap. Anything longer than that, they start charging you more, I think is what it was. So I'm not there yet. I did send them my information, but I just don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on it. Yeah. But I mean, the other side of it is so fucking cheap, right? So goddamn cheap. Just highlighting this comment again. There you go. Anything else that I missed? No, I think I'm good. Just got here. I gotta talk to the record distributor dudes. Apparently there's lots of physical room. Oh, okay. You're talking for the, are you talking about the mini con happening this month, or are you talking something that I'm not following? I keep drooling over orders from USA. Yeah, absolutely. It would save us a lot of money there, 420. You know, and then I start thinking of things like doing more of these mini comic conventions. Is it then beneficial? How much savings is it having stuff shipped to a PO box? I think that's what he was doing at oh, they order a lot from Pemina. Okay, the record distributor guys. There's also the Fantasy Club books tried to do the same thing. I think Austin had stuff shipped to a PO box as well, would bring it back across the border and then stock his store with it. So there's also, again, if I'm going to start selling at comic shops, I feel like I've tried this already though. And I think what happened with, I just didn't have a storefront. What happened with Fantasy Gloves is the same thing that I kind of experienced. The stuff I was getting in, nobody here was really interested in. So it was kind of a, it was fun to try it and order a bunch of books and have it on offer, but it's just not the kind of stuff that really sells quickly here. So, you know, for the record, all the French-speaking comic stores are blocking U.S. orders for an Eternaut Artist Edition. Oh, okay. Lots of them motherfuckers order like a 1K per order. Apparently still okay, but I'll ask some. Okay, yeah, ask some homies. Yeah, I can imagine. And that's the thing, right? Like if you're going to do this, you sort of have to make it worth your while. I'd be curious what they say about crossing the border there, 420. What kind of issues, if any, they have with going down, picking stuff up and bringing, especially if they're ordering like $1,000 worth of records. Do they get hit? Do they claim any of it? Do they just kind of roll through the border patrol and try to make it look like there's nothing to see here, officer? Yeah, so keep me posted. That's it, people. There's nothing else to talk about. Yeah. Moment of silence. Awkward pause.